Good. So we're using our bands today. Everyone's got about a middle strength band, preferably one that is open like this. If you've got a looped one, you might find that you can't do some of the rowing actions. But if you don't have a band, we'll use a combination of a towel and a couple of tins of food or dumbbells to work through the same exercises and get the same effect. So we're going to start sitting today. Sitting cross-legged on your mat, and just grab your band about shoulder width apart and then raise it straight out in front of you and open it outwards a little bit. And I want you to feel a little squeeze between your shoulder blades. We're then going to raise our arms over our head, all the way back behind us. Feel an opening through your chest and then tap the floor behind you. And then come back up and over, all the way down towards your knees at the front. If you feel uncomfortable in your shoulders here, like if you've actually had a shoulder injury before, any kind of instability or dislocations, this one is not for you, but you should be able to bend your elbows a little bit to allow that freedom of movement, or grab it wider and you'll just find that it's a much looser action. For everyone else, let's do another 5 of these, feeling that stretch. And whilst you're going overhead, try and feel your ribs connecting in towards your tummy. So we've got our lower abdominals on. We're pulling the ribs towards the hips. And through your neck, imagine like your head's a helium balloon. So it's like your head is sort of floating up away from your shoulders, and that'll just keep your neck and spine nice and long. Let's go one more time, over, and then we'll come back around just to shoulder level and hold here. I'll get you to pull your shoulder blades back towards each other and then open your arms out to the sides. Then come back to the middle. Try and keep that squeeze back between your shoulder blades. Let's keep one arm still. Open one only. Back to the middle and then the other. And back to the middle. And then we're going to raise the arms just a little higher. So come up a little higher, about eye level with your band. We'll go both. Good. And then one. And then the other. And back to the middle, and then we'll go a little higher again. So up just above your head, open wide through both, open one, open the other. Should be feeling this around your shoulders. And then we'll go one more time up above the head, open, and remember the whole time you're squeezing your shoulder blades together. And then just one, and then just the other. And then we're going to make our way down again. So back down to about head level, open, one, and the other, and then about eye level, open both, and then one, and then the other, and then one more round at chest level. Let's go both arms, squeezing those shoulder blades, and then one, and then the other, and then let's release the band. Well done. Roll your shoulders. Should have felt that warming up. There's a lot of upper body work today, which is nice for a change because we can use the band to really get our shoulders and arms going. So now we're going to hold an underhand grip, and this time I want it fairly firm at about waist width. Broaden your collarbones, engage through your ribs, and then keep your elbows by your side as you open your hands outwards, and then slowly control them back inwards. Open out to the side, pause, and then back to the middle. Let's do 3 more, moving both arms together, and then we'll move on to some single ones. When you're opening outwards, just have a look at your wrists and check they're not flipping backwards. So you want to keep your wrists really flat so that you're not stretching over the top surface there. One more time. Back to the middle. Now keep your right arm still, open your left, and slowly back in. We'll do 5 here. 4. So broad collarbones. I want you to feel like you're kind of squeezing your shoulder blades together, and then the effort should be through the back side of your shoulder. 1 more there, back to the middle, keep the left arm still, open the right, 5, 4, surprisingly difficult these ones, 3 more here. Good, keeping that left wrist flat, 2, and 1, well done. Again, roll those shoulders. Now we're going to straighten our legs out. So hook the band around your feet. Let your legs be nice and long. Make sure your band's pretty even on both sides. And then with my band, I wrap my hands around twice so that I've got a fair bit of tension on the band with my arms out straight. So depending on how heavy your band is, you might change your mind partway through the exercise, and that's okay. So sitting tall, long spine, keep your elbows straight and just pull your shoulder blades back towards each other and then let them go. So it's literally just a squeeze. We're going to pull the shoulder blades back, pause a moment in that squeeze, and then release forwards. So think about your shoulder blades sliding around your rib cage to come towards each other, and then they slide back around the rib cage to come away from each other. Let's do another 3 of these before we move into our rowing exercise. 2 more. And 1 more. Squeeze the shoulder blades back, hold, row. Bend your elbows, pull the band towards your waist. Hold here, don't lose your squeeze as you straighten your arms back out in front of you, and then release the arms forward. And again, let's go. Squeeze the shoulder blades, hold, draw the band back, hold, keep that squeeze as you straighten the arms out in front of you, and then release the shoulder blades. So we've got 4 really separate movements here. Shoulder blades only, then the row, and then straighten the elbows out, and then release the shoulder blades. Let's go 2 more times like this. Shoulder blades, elbows, elbows, shoulder blades, and 1 more time. Now we're going to hold that squeeze for 5 rows, squeezing back between the shoulder blades as we pull the elbows back. 3 more here. Don't lose that squeeze. 2, 1 more time, squeeze and hold here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Well done. Just turn your palms to face downwards now. So we've got our knuckles facing upwards, and then we're going to squeeze those shoulder blades and row wide. So just a slightly different row this time, feeling some slightly different muscles. Same thing, squeeze the shoulder blades, row wide, release the row, and then release the shoulders. Again, we'll do 6 of these, and then we'll hold that squeeze for 5 rows in a row. Squeeze back. Aim your fists towards your armpits here. And if this is uncomfortable on your shoulders, you can go back to your narrow rows. That's fine. And if you're trying to work without a band, I would suggest using the tins for this and really creating your own resistance. So as you move through the air, you imagine like you're moving through honey. And 1 more time, let's squeeze the shoulder blades, hold it there, and row for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 more row, hold it there for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Well done. Now let go 1 round on your band, so it's a little bit looser. You can stay facing the way that you are, and I'm going to turn to demonstrate from side on. This is where we're moving into our roll downs. So you may want to place a little cushion behind your tailbone there if your floor's a bit hard. So we've got 1 to 2 wraps around the band. We're going to bend our knees. Bend the knees and rest your heels on the floor, and your band is securely hooked around your feet. So feel that you're sitting right up on top of your sit bones to start this movement off. Tuck your pelvis under, roll back towards your tailbone, and now really round through your spine. Imagine like you're trying to hollow out your belly. As you roll backwards, your knees are going to straighten. Find a point where your feet are not lifting off the ground, and then roll back forwards, sinking the belly down and rolling all the way up. The knees bend as we come up to the top. And again, tuck the pelvis under, round the spine, pull the pivot bone towards the belly button, pull the ribs towards the hips. Try and keep that neck nice and long. Remember the helium balloon. And then sink the ribs down to the belly. Start to bend the knees as you peel all the way up. Let's do 3 more like this. Tuck the pelvis under, rolling back, rounding your spine. Really actively pull your stomach muscles on here. They probably won't accidentally switch on. You need to really engage them deliberately. And 2 more here before we add some arm movements. Let's roll back, pulling lower belly and upper belly in. And then roll forwards. Okay, let's roll back 1 more time, and we're going to do some pulsing here. So hold it at that lowest point. Find that position where your feet are comfortably on the ground, your stomach muscles are switched on, and let's start pulsing forward. Quite slow pulses. We're going to exhale on the pulse and inhale on the release. I want you to feel as though every time you pulse forwards, you're sinking your ribs a little deeper in towards your hips. So imagine you're really closing that space between the ribs and the hips. Let's go 3 more pulses at this pace. 2, 1 more time, pulse, and then roll all the way up. Very nice. Let's go again. Tuck the pelvis in, roll it back, rolling back, 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 back until you feel like your feet want to lift, but you don't let them. And let's go for another 10. 9. Nice and slow and controlled, because I really want you to feel exactly what you're doing here. So you've got full control of what your body's doing. The effort is almost entirely in the abdominals, but the band is just helping to support you. This would be a lot harder without the band. Let's go 4, 3, 2 more here. 1, roll all the way up. We're now going to add our rowing action into our roll down. So we'll roll back, hold it at that point, hold here. Feel the ribs sinking in. Imagine that you're at the top of one of those pulsing movements. And now you can either go narrow with your row or wide, totally up to you. Either way, or you can alternate. We're going to be here for 8 more. 7. Good. Remember, you're at the top of that pulse, so your ribs are sinking towards your belly. 5, 4, 3, pulling the shoulder blades back. 2, 1 more time, pull back, release, roll up. And now for our last round, let's combine our pulses with our row. We'll row first and then pulse. So rolling back, rounding the spine, hollowing out through the belly. Let's hold here and row for 5, 4. Remember that long neck. Try and keep the tension out of your neck as best you can. And you'll be able to achieve that by using your abdominals and your shoulder muscles more effectively. 1, reach forward, and here we go, pulsing for 10, 9, belly in. Remember, you're really hollowing out through your stomach muscles here. 5, 4, 3, think pubic bone to belly button and ribs to hips. 1 more, and roll all the way up. Well done. Roll those shoulders. So we're now going to tie our bands into a loop. With your legs together, your knees together, bring your band around and tie it into a loop. I tie mine into a bow because they're very hard to untie when you tie a proper knot. So I've got a bow around my knees, and I'll just show you the loop is about that big. All right, then we're going to lie down on our backs. And again, if you've got a bit of soreness around the lower back, a pillow underneath can help you here. So once you're lying down on your back, just have your hands resting on your tummy, your lower tummy, so the heels of your hands go on your pelvis bones and your fingertips rest together below your belly button. Let's switch on through our pelvic floor. Get that neutral spine position, so a little bit of space under your lower back, and then bring your feet together. We're going to open our knees outwards against the band and hold that outward motion. Now switch on through the belly and nice and slow float your feet to tabletop. So we've got a diamond shape between our knees. Hands are on the belly. We're going to exhale, open the knees a little wider. Inhale, bring them back just to that diamond. Exhale, open. Inhale, diamond. So we're never bringing the knees all the way in. I want some tension on that band at all times. And it's kind of like doing a clam. So you should feel deep in those hips, in those glute areas, that you're switching on your buttock muscles to create that little bit of an opening. Belly drawing in, still thinking of that slight pubic bone to belly button tuck. Let's do another 3 of these. 2 more. 1 more. Hold there. If you're fatiguing, you can put your feet down for this next exercise. Otherwise, keep your legs up and curl forwards through your head, neck, and shoulders. And then lower back down. Let's exhale. Think of sliding the ribs down towards the hips. Inhale, lower. Keep your head heavy in your hands here. Really let your head rest in your hands so that you're not straining through your neck. And as always, try and start the movement at your ribs. So you take the breath out, your ribs naturally come downwards, And then that starts the motion. And then your head, neck, and shoulders just simply follow. Let's start to add a little pulse at the top. So let's lift up, hold, open the knees, and rest the head back down. Lift up, hold, open, and rest. Elbows are wide. Let's go for another 4 of these. And rest. 3 more. Exhale, lift. Inhale, pulse. Exhale, lower. 3. Good. 2 more. Good little glute warm up this one. 1 more. Let's lift and hold. Pulse the knees. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rest your head, rest your feet. Very good. Place your hands by your sides. We're going into a bridging sequence now. Now we want the feet a little bit wider than the hips today. So with your fingertips touching your heels, just creep your feet out a little bit wider than that, only a little bit. Keep your hands resting by your sides, palms are facing down. Let's tuck the pelvis in, pull the pubic bone to the belly, press through the heels, squeeze through the buttock muscles, come to the top of your bridge, and now engage your ribs down towards your hips. There's no effort in your back, it's all in your glutes and your abs. Once you're in your bridge, let's start opening our knees again outwards against that band. Not a big movement, just enough to push into that resistance. Keep opening out wider than the hips and then just back to hip width. Let's do another 3, 2, 1. Hold here. Keep your left side still. Open your right side only for 5, 4. And you're going to feel that your foot rolls outwards slightly towards the outer edge. 2 and 1. Right leg stays still. Left leg opens for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold here. Let's lower the hips halfway down. Squeeze them up. Halfway down, squeeze them up. As your hips lower, feel like your tailbone untucks a bit, and as your hips lift, feel like it tucks back up. If you didn't have a band, you could do this exercise without, and you'd still feel just as much happening in your glutes. Just working against gravity instead of the band. 2, lift and hold. Hold it at the top. We're going to repeat that exact same sequence up on our toes. So let's raise our heels, lifting up. Just take a moment to check you're still tucking your pelvis under here. And then let's open both knees. 8, 7. So a little higher, a little bit more effort here. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold still, just the right knee for 5, 4. Check that that right hip doesn't drop as you open the knee. 1, right knee stays still, left knee opens. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back to the middle. We stay on our toes and we lower our hips halfway down and up for 5, 4, 3, 2, lift and hold. Tuck the pelvis in. Stay on your toes now as we roll all the way down, bone by bone, and come to rest. Well done. Let's take the band off. We're going to untie it again and place our feet against the strap. Push your feet towards the ceiling. Ideally, have the band a bit more around the balls of your feet than your heels. And then wrap your hands around enough times to feel like you've got a bit of a pull down, pulling your toes towards your face. So we should feel a nice stretch up the back of the legs here. Just enjoy that stretch. You can wave your legs kind of side to side. That can feel nice. Feels really nice. And then we're going to move back into some more abdominal work here. So come back to the middle, pedal your legs a little bit, push one heel at a time to the ceiling and feel the stretch deepen through the heel that's pushing to the ceiling. One more pedal on each side. Very good. Come back to the center, holding there. Keep your elbows by your side, hands holding the band. Switch on through your lower abdominals here And now really slowly lower your legs down towards the floor. And then slowly lift back up. I'm just going to release them out a bit. So the lighter the band, the harder this will be. So let's slowly lower down. Now I want you to pay a lot of attention to your stomach muscles here. Slowly lift back up. What we want to feel here is a really strong connection through the front of the stomach ball, which we've done a lot of preparation for today so far. And through your lower back, I want you to feel that there is absolutely no increase in that gap under your back. So if we imagine the little blueberry sitting underneath there, I want you to picture that your lower back is actually just lightly touching the blueberry. It's not squashing it, it's resting on it. And as your legs lower down, you don't lift your back up off the blueberry. So that arch stays exactly the same throughout this whole movement. And if you're going to a point where you feel your back arching, just stop, don't go that low. Let's do another 5. Good, and back. 4 more here. Exhale on the way down so that you've got that increased strength through your lower abdominals. Inhale on the way up. 2 more. You can start to experiment with going a little bit lower perhaps. See what muscles you need to engage. You might need to use your inner thighs a bit more there, your buttock muscles a bit more. And then let's lift up to the ceiling. Hold here, take the band off your legs and go back to holding it at about shoulder width. And then we're going to open the arms out to the sides and we'll sustain that tension as we single leg extend one at a time. Exhale, go long. Inhale, back to tabletop. Exhale, lengthen. Inhale, tabletop. Through your arms, try and feel that your shoulder blades are pulling back towards each other. Your collarbones are broad. Your neck is really relaxed. Your head is just resting on the floor here. Let's go for 3, 2, 1 more. Come back to the middle, hold here. Straighten your feet towards the ceiling. Lower your right leg towards the floor and back. Left leg to the floor and back. If you would like to, you can raise your arms over your head as you lower one leg down, and then arms come back to the ceiling as you lift the leg up. Let's exhale on that lengthening part of the movement and inhale as we come back through center. If you would like to add a chest lift as your arms reach to the ceiling, so does your chest. And then we lower down, hands go overhead. We curl up as we reach the arms back to the ceiling. Let's go for 6. And lift. 5. And lift. Last 4, get that squeeze from rib to hip. And lift. 3, like before, make sure if you're lifting your chest that you start the movement at your ribs, not your neck. And then let's lift and hold. Stay lifted if you're lifted. Stay lying down if you're lying down. And now without the band, let's try our double leg lowers. Don't try and go as far as you did with the band because the band was actually quite supportive. So without the band, you may not go as low, and that's fine. Let's do another 3. Good, make sure you're still breathing. 2, keep those legs really straight if you can. 1 more time. And bring those knees to your chest, give them a hug and a rock. Well done. All right, that's our abdominal work done. Let's roll those ankles out a little bit, and then we're going to come onto our side. We are working our triceps now. So this one's a little bit probably more awkward to set up. Pop your hand on your, I'll mirror you, put your right hand on your band on the floor, and then bring your left arm up behind you. So that hand on the floor, make sure the band's right under the heel of your hand, not just your fingers, otherwise you'll get a little slingshot. And then create enough tension through your band that when you straighten your hand to the ceiling, you've got some resistance against that movement. So you want to start with tension on the band. Now, options for setup, you can stay down like this. Make sure you're pushing up through that bottom shoulder so you're not sagging through it. If you want a little bit more of an all-over exercise, we're going to come up into our side plank with our left leg just touching the floor like this. So let's start straightening that left arm up to the ceiling. Now you want to be really strong with your right shoulder here. So the shoulder that is supporting you so that you're not sagging into it. So push the ground away through the heel of your hand. That'll also help to really secure your band. Through your left elbow, keep the elbow pointing straight at the ceiling. So your upper arm does not move. It's only from your forearm down that moves. And think about your fist pointing your little finger towards the ceiling. And then you'll get nice and deep into that tricep. Let's lift and hold. Keep the elbows straight as we raise the left leg up and down off the floor. 3, 2, 1 more, lift and hold. See if we can hold that left leg up as we do another 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 more, lift and hold. See if you can hold this position just for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. Well done. We have the band in both hands on the floor, coming into a full plank. Just holding your hands on the ground, pressing up through your palms. Let's hold our plank here. Looking straight down at the ground, thinking of connecting ribs to hips. Let's hold for 5. And then we're going to be stepping the right foot forward onto the middle of the band. 3, 2, 1. Bring that right foot forward, step it onto your band, lower your left knee down. You can move around there a bit if you need to. Let's try and have even length on either side. So in this position, again, wrap your hands if you need to, otherwise you can just hold on to it. Let's do a front raise, arms go up to the ceiling and back down. As your arms lift, try and pull the shoulder blades back towards each other. Naturally, your shoulder blades will need to lift a little bit. We'll try not to bring them too far up towards the ears, but don't try and resist any elevation at all. It's nice to get a little bit of elevation through those shoulders. 1 more of these. Well done. Rest there. Now you're going to need to wrap. Wrap once or twice. Curl your left toes under. Come up into a lunge position. From here, bending at the elbows. So look straight ahead. Lengthen through the neck. Remember our helium balloon. Broaden through your collarbones. Try and set your shoulder blades in position. Let's go for another 5 of these, holding that lunge. And then we're going to lift up and straighten our legs. 3, 2, bend your elbows to 90 degrees. Hold there, straighten up through your legs. Now we're maintaining this 90-degree bend as we lunge and then stand back up. Lunge, stand back up. Don't lose that 90-degree bend. You should feel that as you straighten up through your legs, the tension on your biceps gets a little more intense, a little harder to hold. Let's go 3, 2, pressing through that right heel. 1 more time. Come up, lower down, and we've got another 5 bicep curls. 5, full range. 4, 3, 2, 1 more, 90 degrees, and let's lift up again and down. Now, our next exercise is an arabesque. 3, we love our arabesques here. 2, 1 more. All right, options to progress. Let's straighten the elbows. If you want, you can step forward. Otherwise, see if you can come straight into your arabesque position and we row. 3, 2, 1. Step your left leg back. We bicep curl. 3, 2, 1. Straight arms. Push forwards. Row. 3, 2, 1. Step back. Bicep curl. 3, 2, 1. Let's do 2 more rounds of each. Tip forwards. Row. 3, 2, and 1. Step back for 3, 2, 1. Last round for each. Press forwards. 3, 2, and 1. Step back for 3, 2, 1. Well done. Lower your left knee down. Release that band. Press your hands onto the floor and enjoy a little child's pose. Rest your forehead to the ground and just enjoy A little bit of a stretch, letting your heart rate come back to normal. Well done. Come up out of that stretch and let's repeat all of that on the other side. So we now have our triceps for the opposite side. Hand goes on the end of the band. And then we're bringing that up behind us. And the main reason for that is so that it doesn't hit us in the face. Make sure you've got the heel of your hand on the band. If you're staying down on the ground, no worries. If you're coming up into your side plank, press up, reach your toes, touch them on the floor, point your right elbow straight up at the ceiling, and now let's straighten that right arm. Up and down. Good. Pressing through the little finger side of your fist, making sure that your upper arm does not move here. And your toes are just lightly resting on the ground. Let's do another 3, 2, lift and hold, keep your elbows straight. Raise your leg up and down. Keep squeezing that right elbow. Really straighten it so that you're not letting it bend. So you've got your full muscle activity. Lift and hold. Keep the leg lifted as we straighten again. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it there. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And rest. Coming forwards into our plank. Hands are on the band. Step one leg back, step the other leg back. So pressing up through your palms, drawing your ribs towards your hips, squeezing your thighs so your legs are really straight and look straight down at the ground. Tucking that pelvis under. Good. Now we're going to be stepping the leg that was on top. So left leg now goes forwards onto the band. Oop, just missed. And then rest your right knee down. Let's come up and check that our band is even on both sides. Good. And then hold on to the tops of it. Tuck the pelvis under for our front raise. Slowly up, slowly down. I'm going on a bit of a V shape with my arms. You can try and go straight up above your head, but I find with my shoulders, a nice V shape feels more comfortable for me. 3, 2, and 1 more. Very good. All right, wrap your hands around the band, curl your toes under, come into your lunge. Oops. Palms face the ceiling. Let's go for our bicep curls. 10 we start with. Good. Stay as low as you can. 5, 4, 3, 2, bend and hold. Stay at 90 degrees, straighten up through your legs, and then lower down. Straighten up and down. Feel that tension gets a little bit tighter on the band as you straighten up, and that you just have to work a little harder to keep your elbows at that 90-degree angle. Let's go 3. Try and keep breathing. 2 and 1. Now we've got our sets of 5. Lunge down. We've got 5. Full range. 4. Make sure the elbows go straight. 3, 2, 1. Keep your elbows bent. Come up for 5, 4, 3. Next we go into our arabesques. 2. Straighten up. Hold here. Straighten the elbows. Bring yourself forward. Kick that back leg out behind you. And now row for 3, 2, whoops, 1. Step back. Lunge for 3, 2, 1. Straight arms tip forward for 3, 2, a bit wobbly on my left. 1. Step back. Lunge for 3, 2, 1. 2 more times. Kick it forward. Take your weight onto that front leg. Row. 2, 1. Step back. 3, 2, 1. Last time. Whoops, nice and strong. 3, 2, 1, and back for 3, 2, 1. Knee down and rest. Well done. Come back into your child's pose, and then we're just going to finish with a nice stretch using our bands. Rest your head to the floor. Start to catch your breath. Let's take 5 deep breaths resting here. Inhale through your nose, exhale through your mouth, and try and feel that you're sending your breath really deep into your rib cage. So you can feel your ribs expand against your thighs. It's not all up in the top of your shoulders. 1 more big breath in and out. And then come and take a seat. We're going to lie all the way down onto our backs. Place 1 foot into the band. Straighten that leg towards the ceiling and press your other leg flat into the floor. Try and feel an opening through the front of that hip. Grab enough tension around your band so that you can really pull against it. And then we're going to wave our leg across our body and away from our body. And you'll go from feeling hamstring in the middle, outer thigh when you go over your body, and inner thigh when you go away from your body, depending on how tight you are. Let's wave back and forth 2 more times. And 1 more time, over. And then we're going to draw a big circle, go down, out wide, up over, feel that tightness, and then across, 2 more big circles. Good, keeping control through that band. 1 more big circle around. And then let's swap legs, bring your other foot up into the band, press your leg flat against the floor. Enjoy that nice stretch up the back there. And if you're working through these waving stretches and you feel like there's one point that you want to just hold for a bit longer, by all means do. You don't have to wave in and out. You can hold wherever it feels like it needs it. 2 more here. And then 1 more time. And then we're going to go round and down, across the body, up overhead, and big circle again, around and up. And 1 more time, around and up. And then release the band. Let's get rid of it. Pop it on the floor. Curl your knees towards your chest. Tighten up into a little ball. Hold there. And then you can let your legs go. And we're all finished. Thank you very much. Hope you enjoyed the class.